All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, it is that time of the week, folks. My weekly picks here in the world of the National Football League. Got things started on the right foot this past Thursday night as I picked the New England Patriots to go on the road and defeat the Atlanta Falcons, but I expected that game to be a lot closer than what it was, as it was a sheer and utter domination by a Patriots team that is rolling right now. Now, with that said, we have some very good games on tap for today, as well as the Monday night affair tomorrow night. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 11 in the NFL season. Now, a big one in the AFC. You're going to have the 5-5 Indianapolis Colts traveling to Western New York to take on the 6-3 Buffalo Bills. And for Buffalo, they are looking to keep up with the Patriots in the AFC East, as a loss here would put New England in sole possession of first place in this division. I've said it before and I'll say it again. What Buffalo has to do, they've got to get their running game going and they have to establish that, and they just simply cannot rely on the right arm of Josh Allen. So that's going to be a big thing right there. And I think Buffalo wants to like dictate tempo and dictate the clock in order to help things with their defense. And this Buffalo defense has to be up for the challenge because this Indianapolis Colts offense does have confidence. But if the Bills can put some pressure on Colts quarterback Carson Wentz, they can force him into making a turnover or two. And I think that will be the difference in this one, as I'm going to take Buffalo to hold serve at home by the score of 30-20. Now at Soldier Field, you're going to have the 3-6 Chicago Bears hosting the 6-3 Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore comes into this contest favored by 5 points, and they're also looking to get back on track after they stumbled last week on Thursday night at the hands of the Miami Dolphins. I think the big thing for Baltimore in this one, they have to get back to their running game. I know it starts with their quarterback Lamar Jackson, but nonetheless, they have to get back to their running game and they have to really predicate things. And then this defense, I mean, you're going up against a rookie quarterback in Justin Fields. You have to exploit that matchup. Baltimore, they just ran into a stumbling block last week versus Miami. I don't think they have the same hiccup today. Thus, I'm going to take Baltimore on the road by the score of 27-20. Now, you're going to have the winless Detroit Lions traveling to Cleveland to take on the 5-5 Browns. Cleveland comes into this contest favored by 12.5 points. Excuse me, but they're facing a Lions team that actually did not lose last week. I mean, it was painful to watch at times, that game between the Lions and the Steelers. But nonetheless, nobody wanted to win that game. And of course, nobody did. But if you're the Lions, you have to find a way to build off of that momentum. And secondly, if you're the Lions, you have to find a way that after you've played a close game and fell short of winning, you have to try to do it 2 weeks in a row and try to build off of that. And what we've seen from the Lions this year is that they will play a close game, but then the following week they'll turn around and get blown out. For Cleveland, I keep singing the same old song. They have to run the football. It's going to be tougher without Nick Chubb, but the bottom line is the Browns have to find a way because everything that they do on offense is predicated by that. Cleveland comes into this game favored by 12.5 points. I think it's going to be a lot closer than that. Thus, I'm going to take Cleveland at home by the score of 24-19. Now, in Nashville, you're going to have the 8-2 Tennessee Titans hosting the 1-8 Houston Texans. And the Titans, they are simply rolling right now. They have the best record in the NFL, and this is a team that is really believing that they can go all the way. On the flip side for the Texans, the end of the season cannot get here quick enough because this is an organization that is in shambles from top to bottom. And thus, I don't see them giving any real competition to Tennessee today. Thus, I'm going to take the Titans to roll it home by the score of 31-17. Now, in Minneapolis, you're going to have the 8-2 Green Bay Packers taking on the 4-5 Minnesota Vikings. And a win by the Pack would put them well on their way to once again winning the NFC North, excuse me. Now you look at it, and this Pack offense, as Aaron Rodgers goes, so does the fortunes of the Green Bay Packers. On the flip side, for the Vikings, they're good enough to compete, but not always win. And they went on the road last week and defeated the Chargers. But now Minnesota has to try to put it together 2 weeks in a row. And it's going to be very tough when you're thinking about going up against a team and a quarterback that has had his way with you over the years. That's we're going to take Green Bay on the road by the score of 31-23. Now at the Meadowlands, you're going to have the 3-7 Miami Dolphins taking on the 2-7 New York Jets. And after the slow start, Miami has won their last two. They're going to have additional rest when they take the field today, as they have not played since last Thursday night. And that was a win at home against Baltimore. Now, on the flip side for the Jets, they are licking their wounds as they were taken behind the woodshed last Sunday at home, courtesy of the Buffalo Bills. Veteran Joe Flacco is going to get the start for the Jets today. And it's going to be interesting because this Dolphins defense all of a sudden has a lot of confidence. On the flip side, Tua Tagovailoa is expected to start for Miami, and his career so far has been up and down, to say the least. This is going to be one of those games. You look at the play of both quarterbacks, not confident in either one of them. Somebody's going to win this game by accident, but I'm going to take Miami on the road by the score of 24-17. Now you're going to have the 5-4 New Orleans Saints traveling to take on the 4-6 Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles have some momentum for themselves now after their big win last week in Denver, but they have to find a way to win at home. Philadelphia is winless at home this season at Lincoln Financial Field in 4 tries. But you look at quarterback Jalen Hurts. It's one of those, it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. Sometimes he looks good, sometimes he doesn't. And for Philly, they're hopeful that he can string together a couple of good games. And he could have a good game if he can connect with his former college teammate and rookie wide receiver Devonta Smith in this one. The Saints defense right now has to carry them because of their struggles at the quarterback position. And it's going to be interesting to see if Fletcher Cox and this defensive line for Philadelphia can make life tough for Saints quarterback Trevor Simeon. But with that said, I think Philly has enough to get it done at home. That's why I'm going to take the Bird Gang by the score of 27-17. Now, it's going to be a reunion of sorts, as you're going to have the 3-6 Washington football team traveling to Charlotte to take on the 5-5 Carolina Panthers. And of course, Cam Newton is back at quarterback for the Panthers. And of course, when Cam was in his heyday in Charlotte, it was under the tutelage of Ron Rivera as his head coach. Of course, Ron Rivera is now the head man in Washington as this reunion will take place today. I look at it like this: for Washington, number one, when they won that NFC East last year, they did it off of their defense. The defense really has not been there this season. On top of that, they lost their best pass rusher and best player on that side of the ball in Chase Young. Now, I know that Tyler Henneke has a ton of confidence after he helped Washington beat the Bucks last week. Now he wants to try to get that into this game versus Carolina, but I think there's going to be a lot of emotion, being that Cam Newton's going to be under center. Got the majority of the reps in practice this week for Carolina, and I think that's going to be a big boost to this team and this fan base as well. And I'm going to take Carolina at home by the score of 24-20. Now you're going to have the 4-5 San Francisco 49ers traveling to take on the 2-7 Jacksonville Jaguars. And for San Fran, they want to keep the momentum going. They had a big win, a dominating win on Monday Night Football against the Los Angeles Rams at home. And what we saw in that game, quick passes from Jimmy Garoppolo, but more importantly, the 49ers did what they do best: run the football. And that's something that San Francisco definitely wants to do today: win that line of scrimmage, win the time of possession, and then also make Jacksonville's offense with rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence more one-dimensional. I think San Fran builds off of that momentum, and it's going to lead them to the 27-17 win today. You're going to have the 5-4 Cincinnati Bengals traveling to take on the 5-4 Las Vegas Raiders. And for the Bengals, they're hopeful that the bye week gave them a much needed rest and the ability to get back on track after they lost their last two contests. And you look on the flip side for the Raiders, it's just unfortunate. So many off the field distractions right now is really taken away from a good start that this team had as they appear to be fading right now in the AFC. This Raiders defense, if they cannot stop Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, they're going to be in for a very long afternoon. Derek Carr is going to have a big game, but who's going to step up around Derek Carr that's wearing a silver and black uniform in order to help him? The Raiders, they just don't have any momentum right now. And it's unfortunate. And because of that, I'm going to take Cincinnati on the road by the score of 30-21. Now, a big one that a lot of people are talking about today is you're going to have the 7-2 Dallas Cowboys traveling to Arrowhead to take on the 6-4 Kansas City Chiefs. And this is a litmus test for both of these teams because both of these teams they feel like they have what it takes to make a run in January to the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys quarterback, he is back in the form and playing solid before, like he was before his injury last year. And for Kansas City, after the 3-4 start, they've won their last three and they're starting to get some momentum. But I think a lot of the momentum for Kansas City can be predicated off of what their defense has been able to do in recent games. And that's going to be important because you're facing a Cowboys team that put up 43 points on the Atlanta Falcons last Sunday. I think this is going to be a back and forth affair. Whoever the first team is to blink, so to speak, and this one is going to lose. But I'm not going to go against the Chiefs in this one at home. I'm going to take Kansas City by the score of 34-31. Now in the NFC West, you're going to have the 8-2 Arizona Cardinals traveling to take on the 3-6 Seattle Seahawks. And for Seattle, last week was Russell Wilson's first start since the injury. The Seattle offense looked bad. They want to try to obviously get something going. I still think it would be best for Russell Wilson to wear a glove, but obviously, he has to do with what he feels comfortable with. For the Cardinals, surprisingly dominating loss last week in the hands of the Carolina Panthers at home. Kyler Murray at quarterback is a game time decision. And if they do decide to rest him in this game, they definitely have an eye towards the playoffs. Seattle comes into this game favored by 2.5 points. I think I'm going to take them on the over in that one, but I'm going to take Seattle by the score of 22-17. Now, tonight, you're going to have the 5-3-1 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 5-4 Los Angeles Chargers. And for Pittsburgh, they tied last week with the Lions, but it really felt like a loss. And for the Steelers, they ran the football solid with Najee Harris. Their defense was there, but they just couldn't get anything out of their passing game with Mason Rudolph. Now you have Ben Roethlisberger coming back, and he's expected to be rusty. So I don't know what you can expect out of this Steelers offense. On the flip side, for the Chargers, Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense, they can be frustrating because you see the big play ability there. You see the ability to put up points. And just when it looks like they're about to get on a roll, they take a couple of steps back. This is going to be an interesting game because I think it comes down to which team is able to minimize their mistakes. But I'm going to take the Lightning Bolts at home by the score of 24-16. And finally, you're going to have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a record of 6-3 hosting the 3-6 New York Football Giants. And for Tampa Bay, they've lost their last two games in a row. They looked very frustrated last week at Washington, and they need to try to find a way to get back on track because this is stretch run time. But also, this is around the time last year when it all came together for Tampa Bay. They got on that run, and then, of course, the rest is history. I know that you have Tom Brady at quarterback, but I think Tampa really needs to go out there and establish the line of scrimmage in this one with their running attack and really put this Giants team behind the eight ball. On top of that, this Bucks defense has struggled in recent weeks. And I think the best elixir for this Tampa Bay defense is the fact that you're facing a Giants offense that has sputtered for the last couple of years. The Giants really struggle to score 20 points. So basically, if you're Tampa Bay, if you can go out there and get to 20 points or more, the odds are definitely in your favor to win this game. Tampa Bay comes into this contest favored by 11 at home. I'm going to take the over, as I'm going to take Tampa Bay to win by the score of 34-20. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And with that said, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you are on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.